Well, good afternoon. Again, it is November 1st, 2025, and I want to touch on dress code. So remember, guys, we're starting to gear toward recruitment. So these videos are not necessarily geared toward you, but they're geared toward everyone in the organization. And who knows? I'm praying that we might be able to recruit as many as maybe 2 every 6 months in the beginning, maybe more over time. We'll see, but I don't want to grow too fast. I want to make sure that everybody knows what they're doing, has a level of confidence, and is excited about the direction we're heading in, because I know that I am. Really, and this video will be accessible to other providers. This is just to share, what our culture is like, what our expectations are, how we are effective. And one of the ways we're effective has to do with how we present ourselves to the public, to businesses, to our clients, to the counselors, okay? Even to each other, although that is less important. So for example, in our staff meetings, unless we have, a meeting with a counselor, a virtual meeting, or unless we have meetings on the same day in person with customers, it's a little bit more lax. I don't really care, what you wear, what you look like, during our staff meetings, as long as it's just us, right? But if we're going out on a blitz, okay, if we're having meetings with counselors, we got to step it up, okay? And what I mean by that is, again, I'm going to be as flexible in this as I possibly can, but I do have some baseline expectations. One of them is that we wear a shirt with a collar, okay? I don't care if it's a polo shirt, I don't care if it's button down, but it does need to be a shirt with a collar. It's a little bit more, in my opinion, a little bit more professional, a little bit more tasteful. Also, when we go out or when we are in meetings, I need for us to be, not clean shaven, but well groomed. Okay, and make sure that we do the things that we ask our customers to do, like bathe. And I'm not saying that you don't. Please don't. I don't mean this is not a slight or criticism. This is just common sense. I've learned that I have to be specific, right? I was amazed in the beginning how that I actually needed to tell adults who had special needs that they needed to shower and shave and brush their hair and all of the stuff that we kind of take for granted. Just make sure that you're doing those things yourself, right? Make sure that I do not, honestly, I'm not against cologne or perfume. I mean, but I would say I usually don't. Okay, I might use one spray, something like that. Nothing major. Okay. As far as the style of clothing, I would like for it to be business casual. There is no need to wear a tie. I can't remember the last time I wore a tie, unless it was for a professional grade position. But man, it's been a long time since I've worn a tie. In general, it's not necessary. T-shirts are a no-no, right? Unless it's just us. I would say, try to keep it neutral. You want a business style, this is a button down with a collar, right? And something neutral, right? Because remember, almost everything that we do, we're trying our very best to be an advocate for our people. So it's not really about what we wear, but we don't want what we wear to be a distraction. We don't want what we wear to be conversation piece, especially if it could be misunderstood or perceived as something less than, right? We're wanting to keep it like this. We're meeting with equals. We want to match what the manager is wearing, okay? Or be not far from it, okay? You'll know that most of the positions that we're recruiting for, they wear a button down with a collar or a polo with a collar. Nearly all of the time, it's gonna be business casual, right? Whether it's a grocery store or a movie theater or a restaurant, whatever. There's a baseline level of expectation in terms of what they wear. Okay. All right. As far as pants, please no jeans. Okay, when we're out in public, when we're going to meetings, please make sure that it has no stains or tears. Khakis are great, slacks are great. I'm even okay with cargo pants. Okay, but try to keep it again neutral. We don't want to be distracting. We want the employers or the counselors to be meeting with us as individuals and not seeing what we're wearing as any kind of distraction. I've got some Hawaiian shirts that are very bright. The ones that are super bright, I don't wear them to meetings because I know it's going to be a distraction. Okay, and I don't want that. I don't want, that can come across as a little bit, in my mind, it can come across with, I don't mean for it to be, but it can be misunderstood as maybe a little bit of arrogance, right? Or maybe too flippant, too casual. Okay, so I want to make sure that what we wear, believe it or not, I'm sorry to go on and on and on about this, but it's very important in our culture how we present. The scripture says that man looks at the appearance, but God looks at the heart, right? Well, man looks at the appearance, so we have to be careful. Okay, guys, and this is guys, if you have a beard, make sure that it's trimmed. Okay, if you're a lady, make sure that your hair is well kept, that it's, and by the way, guys, I'm not opposed to you having long hair. If you're going to have long hair, make sure that you pull it back. Okay. It needs to be pulled back. All right. Who knows? You may see me with long hair at some point. Okay. With regard to shoes, this is mainly for the guys. No tennis shoes, please. Okay. Boots are fine as long as they look decent. Okay. People are not going to be as preoccupied with shoes. But they do need to be clean and neat. I prefer brown or black dress shoes, but you can wear casuals. You can wear different colored shoes as long as they match what you've got on. Okay. So again, think neutral and business casual. Now we're coming into fall and winter. Okay. What are we going to do about jackets? Okay. I would prefer my jacket. I've got two that are somewhat neutral. I've got a black leather one that I'll use for winter. And then I've got kind of an olive green one with a collar, a brown collar. Again, it's casual, it's neutral, it doesn't stand out too much, and that's the principle. You want to be. I would not recommend wearing jackets that have a bunch of logos on it when you're going out for someone. When you're, again, if it's just us, that's fine. But if you're, like going to meetings, your coat is like a shirt. It's something that you put on that people are immediately going to see, and I want it to be something that is business casual. Okay, all right. So, ladies, and again, guys, not to bore you with all of these details, but I'm gearing this toward recruitment, and we are going to be trying to recruit ladies. We don't want to be discriminatory in any way, and as I've mentioned, if it's just us, that's not good, because if you look at the folks in the offices, there's a lot of ladies, right? And there's a lot of different ethnicities, and we want to be welcoming to that. We want to try to enfold, people of different cultures into our organization. So with regard to ladies, just keep it modest. That's the general rule of thumb. Make sure that if, I don't mind dresses, that's fine. I don't mind business slacks, that's fine. But again, kind of going back to what we said, please no jeans, please nothing, low cut, keep it modest. The shoes need to be, business casual. They just need to match whatever you're wearing, right? Common sense. If you have any questions at all about what to wear or what not to wear, just give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. You guys know that I'll do my very best to answer all of your questions. I'm here for you. I want to help you in any way that I can. So thank you. This actually went a little bit longer than I thought it would. I do hope this helps to prepare us for blitzes, for meetings with counselors, with our clients face to face. We just want to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. We don't have to be dressed to the nines in a tux or a business suit or anything like that, but we do need to be like business casual. All right. Thank y'all. Have a great day.